Last week, at the beginning of the Nintendo Direct, Nintendo decided to destroy my world with the most insane 20 seconds I have ever played. How's it going, everybody? I'm Linkachu, welcome back to another video, and today we are discussing the Xenoblade 3 DLC. Everything we know so far, and everything that we can expect to see from the DLC. Also, speaking of the Direct last week, Nintendo just decided to spoil Xenoblade, all of the Xenoblade games, for everyone watching the Direct. If the title didn't make it clear already, this video will contain spoilers, and definitely major spoilers for Xenoblade Chronicles 1, 2, and 3. And also, apparently Nintendo Directs will contain spoilers for Xenoblade. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Takahashi, the creator of Xenoblade, decided to make all of my Xenoblade wet dreams a reality. The second I beat Xenoblade Chronicles 3's story, I said, could you imagine if they did a prequel story with Shulk and Rex explaining how the events of Xenoblade 3 started? And they did just that. They literally did that. The DLC is still currently slated for December 31st of 2023. And that is a long ways to wait for what we just saw. So now let's jump into the contents of what we know and what we could possibly expect from the DLC. This shit is insane. This is literally insane. I need to talk to my therapist about this. I need to get a therapist, and then I need to talk to him about how insane Xenoblade 3 DLC is. The first thing we see is Alvis floating with golden wings that are very similar to the ones that Zanza wears in Xenoblade Chronicles 1, and he is wielding the Monado. The next thing we see is an older Shulk yelling at Alvis. You then see Rex wielding both Aegis blades. How is this real? How is this still? I do not understand how this is still real. This is a real thing. Then it cuts to the coolest wide shot I have ever seen. You see Shulk and Rex facing off against Alvis, and also in a space that reminds me of the final fight of Xenoblade Chronicles 1. It's not like a super comparison, but it's just very Final Fight-esque. Is this the final fight of the DLC, or is this how it starts? This scene shows Alvis as some sort of antagonistic figure, and obviously if you know how he is, something crazy has happened for Shulk to be this pissed at him.
Tell me why! Is this really what you want?
We don't know what Alvis has done, or what he wants, but clearly it's a bad thing. Clearly this is a bad thing. Alvis has clearly done something bad for humanity. Alvis could possibly have something to do with the worlds of Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 merging into one as Ionius. And or even possibly have something to do with Mobius and the Endless Now. I think that is less likely and more so probably the merging, but we also don't know. This is just a guess. Another major thing is that Shulk and Rex clearly represent some of the statues in Memorial Hall. I cannot believe this was under my nose the entire time. I should have looked closer. It was literally right there. How did I not see that? This is clearly Shulk, and this is clearly Rex. Shulk represents the statue of Founder Reed. The cape and the hair really give it away. I actually cannot believe I didn't notice this before. It's so obvious. But also, the cape is so sick. Shulk looks so fucking awesome. He's the coolest character. I love Shulk so much. The description of Shulk also lines up. You can read it on Wikipedia. I'm not gonna read it to you. Rex represents the statue of Founder Cassini. With the photo at the end of Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and the description that the founder wielded two swords, makes it pretty obvious it's Rex. Also, Rex, I am so sorry for trashing on you as a kid. You were really dumb then, so I'm not really gonna be that sorry. But now you are so cool. You have earned my respect, Rex. I hope that you don't still scream like an idiot. And if you're curious about the descriptions, I'm not going to read it to you or try to explain it. There are way smarter Xenoblade fans than me who know what they're really talking about. In both of these statues, they are written and depicted to lose a part of their body. Shulk's statue writes that they lost their right arm, and it states that Rex lost his left eye. I'm curious if we will see these injuries inflicted upon them during the events of the DLC. Or did they get these injuries from the fight with Alvis? It's very clear that these two have heavy ties to the world of Ionius, and it was right under our nose this whole time. And maybe more of you guys knew that, and I'm just stupid? That's probably the answer. There's one last major thing to talk about in this trailer, and it's a character that seems to represent an older Noah. And a lot of people thought it was older Noah, myself included for a second. But assuming this is a prequel to Xenoblade Chronicles 3, it wouldn't make much sense that it's an older Noah. But it also could because of the incarnations of Noah and Mio and N and M and all that. But that's complicated, and I don't think it is an older Noah. I think this is a different character completely. But forget that, because this character really resembles the founder statue of Van Damme. This character, who I'm going to refer to as Van Damme, but not this Van Damme, it's this Van Damme. So don't confuse it with this Van Damme. I'm talking about this Van Damme, but don't also confuse it with this Van Damme, because I'm talking about this Van Damme. Forget it. I'm calling him Fei Fong Wong because he looks like Fei Fong Wong from Xenogears. And it also totally could be a reference, or maybe it could actually be something and this is Fei Fong Wong from Xenogears. But obviously this is probably just a reference or an Easter egg, because this guy is also a martial artist, and so is Fei Fong Wong. But either way, if it's a reference or it has an actual connection to Xenogears, I just wanted to mention it because it's cool that this Van Damme statue character, Fei Fong Wong, looks like Fei Fong Wong. We also get a better look at him through this promotional image. And as you can see here, he wears a gauntlet very similar to the one Noah wears when Noah draws the Lucky 7. Will this gauntlet work very similar to the Lucky 7 sheath? Was it made by Riku's master? We don't know. Hopefully that's something that might have a cool connection. Like, the Lucky 7 is a crazy thing, so it would be cool to find out more about it. Another note is that Van Damme, or Fei Fong Wong, that person from the Van Damme statue, is a descendant of Noah and Mio, or the Noah and Mio who later became N and M, which also might play a role in the DLC, but we don't know. And to make this character even more confusing as to who they are, for a short few seconds, we see a shape that resembles an Ouroboros, specifically Mio's Ouroboros. Also, not to mention, whoever killed his granddad is dead.
Like killing Granddad wasn't enough for you?
Like, they're dead. As you can tell, there's a lot of different things that can happen with Xenoblade 3's story DLC. A huge portion, or even all of it, will take place as a prequel, before the events of Xenoblade 3's story. Just some more thoughts. Will we see other characters from Xenoblades, like some of the cast of Xenoblade Chronicles 1? Will we see Sharla, Rein, Dunban, Riki, even characters from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, like Zeke, Morag? Or what about the kids that Rex has with Pyra and Mithra and Nia? Will we get to see those kids? That photo is actually insane. This is like the most insane thing that they just... Like, what the fuck? Will we see our favorite protagonists meet their end? There are too many questions. There's like way more questions than answers that this 20-second trailer gave. Especially more questions than answers. I'm obviously no expert, and I'm definitely more of just a really excited fan. So if there was anything you noticed, or any theories you have, please let me know in the comments down below. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I cannot wait for this DLC. It is insane. I cannot believe that this is a real thing. I lost my fucking mind. It's actually insane. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Linkachu, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Linkachu, out.